War never changes. But the themes of war novels sometimes do. What started as a bleak but starkly and hauntingly beautiful narrative about the horrors of the battlefield in 86 Volume 1 has, by Volume 3, become a story that embraces many of the standard tropes of war adventures, while also acknowledging the psychological effects of combat on young people. That's a lot of fancy words to describe a light novel, so let me break it down a little bit. 86 Volume 1 described the horrific treatment that the 86 received at the hands of the Republic of San Magnolia, being forced to fight for their lives on the front lines against the Legion, a horde of self-replicating autonomous combat robots, while the citizens of the Republic stayed safe behind their walls. The end of that volume saw the Spearhead Squadron of 86 go on their special reconnaissance mission, a euphemistic way to describe a suicide mission, where they were ordered to advance into Legion territory without stopping. Volume 1 was very focused on exploring the inhumanity of war. You can watch my video on it by clicking the link on screen. Volume 2 kicked off a two-part arc where the 5 remaining members of the Spearhead Squadron break through Legion lines and make it to the Federacy of Giad. That book explored the notion that their time on the battlefield had irreversibly shaped the 86 into weapons of warfare that they would never feel at home anywhere else except the battlefield. It ended on a cliffhanger describing a long-range assault from a new Legion weapon. The video I did for Volume 2 is on screen now if you'd like to watch that. Volume 3 details the mission undertaken by the Federacy and other nearby nations to destroy the new Legion weapon. What intrigued me most about this volume is how, on the surface, it utilizes many of the ideas and practices of more straightforward war adventure stories, while still retaining the themes of psychological damage in the 86. The story features a straightforward assault mission, complete with maps, and even has some segments detailing motivational speeches from company commanders. These are all traditional markers of a story that views war as an opportunity for glory, that views the battlefield as a place of adventure and daring. But in 86 Volume 3, those aspects are overlaid with a story of the torment that First Lieutenant Shin is going through as he leads his fellow 86 once more into what amounts to a suicide mission. Let's look at both sides of this equation. First, let's examine some of the aspects of this volume that give it elements of an adventure novel, starting with those maps. I have to tell you, I geeked out when I saw these. Troop movement maps are my favorite parts of any military history book, and seeing them included in a light novel was just awesome. There are only 3 in this volume, but they were a welcome addition, and I hope they continue to be added to future books. A few quotes from the book that also highlight this aspect of war as a patriotic and virtuous duty. You will act as the stalwart shield that guards our allied neighbors, and the mighty sword that will cut open a path for humankind's future. Never forget that the god of war never favors the cowards, but gives his blessings to the valiant. Go forth and defend the flag of the two-headed eagle with your lives. And an artillery commander in that same battle. For our comrades on the front lines and those warriors going even farther beyond, keep shooting, no matter what. Even if the gun barrels burst and angels rain down from heaven to claim us all, never stop shooting. All hands, prepare for bombardment. These are rah-rah-rah speeches that wouldn't sound amiss coming from a Patton or a William Wallace. And while Volume 3 never commits fully to this side of the genre, only edging into these tropes at a distance, so to speak, it still results in a very different tone from Volume 1, which contained nothing of the sort. The book overlays these elements with the theme of Shin's mental state, of his search for a purpose beyond fighting, and of the creeping fear that he has no purpose beyond fighting. But recently, that balance had been steadily falling apart. Shin's constant dance on the razor's edge was as reckless as ever, but the only thing his eyes could see was the enemy standing in his way. He was forged for a single purpose, endlessly sharpened for one objective. And by the time his objective had been completed, the blade had grown so brittle that it shattered and fell apart. Volume 3 expertly interweaves scenes of action and story with character development, and this overarching theme of finding a purpose, and even manages to bring both the mission and Shin's psychological journey to a satisfying conclusion, essentially bringing the story up to the point of the epilogue of Volume 1. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where this series is going. I know that this is a bit of a more serious read than other light novel series I've looked at, but I'm still enjoying it. I hope you'll join me for future videos in this series. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.